Guys, today I decided to talk a little bit more about the plyometrical spectrum of training exercises, and in this time I would like to break it down throughout the whole year process what I'm actually doing with my athletes. Especially I like to apply this kind of training exercise or training regimen throughout each segment or each phases of the exercises throughout the whole year process. So I put everything down on my board here, so I'm gonna break it down to you on each phase specifically what I like to do. So I hope you find this kind of helpful in your own cases. So bear with me. So the first phase is general preparation phase, what I like to call it. And in this phase, I like to do specifically just the bodyweight plyometrics in the first time. So the first time is just tissue conditioning and motor control building. For me, it's necessary just to see how the athletes move, how the athletes apply all of the plyometrics. Is there any kind of specific exercise that I need to adapt, or what I actually need to take place just to correlate with specific movement patterns that or disabilities that my athlete has. So, and I also put the spectrum of high volume training with some moderate intensity. The second one is, of course, the general preparation phase 2. In this phase, I like to do plyometric on a soft surface with some higher loads. So I focused this period of time as a second phase with a longer ground contact time. So I try to deliver some more strength focus into each spectrum of the movement throughout the plyometrical exercise. So I'm trying to torch a little bit more force and putting more force to the ground. So because I need to develop and this power output later on. So the third one should be specific preparation phase 1, where I'm doing the plyometrics on a firm surface. So with some moderate loads, but just previously what I mentioned on a soft surface. For example, you could do it on the grass, you can in a gym on some mat, or for example on some carpet. It depends what you have, or some artificial fields. So back to the third phase, where I do am actually on a firm surface. This is where the focus on training is building up some more load with the spectrum, like I said before, to deliver some more strength focus. Specific preparation phase 2 is where actually I put some more emphasis on the eccentric phase with some weighted plyometric as well. I like to correlate, or I like to create in this time some how should I call the takeoff build up. So the takeoff, what I mean by that is just to have this explosive first step, explosive this linear speed, explosive movement in a spectrum. It doesn't matter if it's linear or multi-dimensional. So I just want to have this quickness in a reaction. So with this base created that we develop in the first 3 phases, actually, the focus goes on a key development on the eccentrical contract ability. With that being said, we are going back to the pre-competitional phase. So in this pre-competitional phase, with the eccentrical phase is just purely dominant, a plyometrical spectrum of the exercises, but in this case, not weighted. So if they are weighted, I'm using a percentage drop or like a deload week in between these 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe like I would put, if I do it like in a period of 8 weeks, I will do like 2 to 3 weeks or of a deload week. So more emphasis on a transition, on using more speed rather than just weight or load to provide high eccentric stimulus in a period of time that it's given in this specific phase. The next one is, of course, the competitional phase. So where actually the competition takes place. So this is where the eccentrical and concentrical part of the movement spectrum is balanced, or even more focused on a concentrical part, but unweighted plyometrics. So only body weight, I'm using only body weight just to be adept to having this response of a short stretching cycle. So I'm returning to more specific conditioning in this case to maximize the return of the concentrical phase with some maximum intensity. So I want to see my athlete on a body weight regimen doing a plyometric, how actually he can utilize the everything that we built up in these previous phases. So, and this is also where I make the fusion of a competition of peak performance phase, where in some cases also the plyometrical exercises are purely removed. So I just want to do the sport specific focus exercise or drills. So what I actually build up in this phase throughout the previous 4 to 5 months, I want to see in this focus of peak performing phase that my athletes are utilizing this on the field, what I actually needed. So I'm just gonna build exercises that are actually involved on the field or in the game itself. Even when there are some variation with the weights, they're just gonna be several cases. So I'm not gonna pretend or to put some more emphasis on the load. So I'm just gonna do the pure execution of the maximum intensity for each exercise or for each sequence. That is what I like to base, and this is what I actually try to do along the way. So if this is going to be helpful for you, please like, share, and comment what you think about it, and you're gonna hear from me very, very, very soon again. And I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you soon.